Alright, so in this video we'll be looking into the checkout page. This is one of the most important pages of your store. This is where people would be actually purchasing the product that you are trying to sell. So here we have our system page that you can also access from the system pages. It is the store checkout. So in this page you can fully customize your checkout process. And this is a simple page, so you can again add whatever background you want. In this case we have hidden the header and the footer of our website, and the reason behind that is that we just want to have as little as possible distractions on this page. So we don't want people to, when they go to the checkout, we don't want them to click again on some other pages and basically be lost in a way to other pages that we have on our website. We want people to purchase. So for that reason we hidden them, and on most templates that you select we will have them hidden. And that's actually one of the reasons why funnels are so good in sales, is because we don't really have headers and footers there. We are very strict about the process of which we want the person to go through. So that's why we hide them. Again, you can show if you wish from this button on top. Now we have this checkout widget. This is a widget that you can actually add to any page that you want. In this case we have it on our system page. So this is the checkout widget. Again, you can add it anywhere that you want. Now you can click on it and you have a few options here. First one is the products. You can just double click and access it there, or just click on the products area here. Now you have two options in here, which is the cart checkout and the product select. The cart checkout is the one that you want when you have a store with a storefront where people pick the product. So basically adding to cart. And here you load all the products that are being added to the cart. So it's not predefined. Where in this option, everything is predefined. So you pre-select what products will be sold in this checkout. So this is great for having checkouts where you sell a specific product and that's it, for sales funnels, for some kind of campaign. But when you have a storefront without the cart, this is the option, the cart checkout. So make sure that you have selected the correct option for your checkout. When you have a product select, you have to select what product you'll be selling. So click on select product and then select the product from this list here. So you can select one or multiple products that will be sold. So let's select two products in this case. And you'll see that they are already loaded. So the customer will have no option to add new products because these are pre-selected. They cannot even delete these products because you want them to buy these products and that's it. Now, if you want people to actually pre-select which product they want to buy, you can do that. And first of all, one option is that you can do is allow, first of all, quantity, and then the other one is to allow customers to choose the product to buy. So they can actually choose which one of those two to buy, or they can select multiple ones. So if you want people to select multiple, so not just a single choice, make sure you enable this one. Otherwise, they will have to pick only one of these products. And again, you can have multiple products selected, pre-selected. Then you have the bump offers. Well, for the bump offers, we can have basically different videos, but basically the idea here is that you create a different offer which people can purchase. So like this works only with predefined products because you're selling, let's say, this product 3 and product 1, and then you have a bump offer, let's say, for our other product, which is product 2. Well, let's say that you sell a book, or let's say you sell a bed and you want to bump offer them, upsell them in a way, sheets, for example, for your bed. So you can create it as a bump offer. So here you can again select which product you want to sell, let's say product 2. You can add some title to it, let's say, yes, I want to grab this deal, for example, whatever you want to call this whole thing. You can add some name to the bump offer, some description. So let's just add some title, some description, just to have some information. And you can add some badge to it as well, let's say limited deal with let's say our brand color. You can also tag users, so whoever purchases our bump offer, so whoever chooses to purchase this extra product, you can tag them with a specific tag. So this is really cool way, again, to tag people based on their behavior. And let's click on save, and you actually be able to see that. Well, it really depends on where you add the bump offer. So you have different ways to add the bump offer as well. So you can have it as part of the checkout or below the summary. So if you have it as part of your checkout, so it will show on the last step of your checkout, right before you click on finishing the order. So we forget to mention that. So, well, that is the position of it. So it is currently hidden. Or you have the other option where you have it in the order summary. So when you enable that one, you see that this is where it will show below the actual order summary. But for the example, we'll show it here because yeah, it's visible, it's easier to see. And then you have different option if you want to have the button or you have it as a radio. So it really depends which one you want to choose. But yeah, let's have it as a button here. And let's save. Although this is a store that we have here, we want to see the actual predefined checkout. So again, here we have our information on the side, and here we have our summary, which people can pick which product they want to buy. Let's say add to cart. So here we have the single choice type of an option, so they can toggle which product they want to purchase. And then we have here the limited deal. So by clicking on adding it to order, that will add it into your order here. So it will be added, and you can of course remove it. So this is our product too that you can toggle away. This is the bump offer that we can upsell people by having it here. So this is what the bump offers are and the pre-selected products that you have. And yeah, this is, you can add as many as you want bump offers, and you can show them either again in this area. So let's actually see that as well. So we can click on save changes. We have our information here, our address that we can add, and here you can see that this is the place where we will have the bump offer right before completing the order. So the place, it really depends on your preference, and in some cases it works better here, in some cases here. You can play around and see which one works best. You can basically do an A/B testing of that, for example, with a sales funnel. Now, the other option is for cart checkout. It's pretty straightforward. Basically, whatever you have in your cart, it will show and be able to check it out here. So it's not pre-selected. So these are the two different options. Now we have the styling. So the styling, again, you have the full customization option. In this case, we have this tilted layout, but you can change it to something like this. For example, from top to bottom, you can have it from where you have the information here, and the summary will be below that. So basically, in this case, because you have multiple steps, the summary will show at the third step of your checkout. So let's just save, and you can again see this process. So you can have your information. Let's add some data, and here it is the summary with the bump offer again if you want to add it or not, and then you can complete the order. So very cool, different layout, different type of a checkout. It depends on how you want to proceed with the whole process of your customers. So these are the options of, you can pick how many steps you have about your step process. So you can have it in a one step if you want. So all the information in one huge big checkout basically. If you like this type of a design, feel free to choose that one, or you can have it in two steps where you have customer and then billing information, and then in three steps if you want it to be more segmented. Then you have more styling options, and let's just pick some different design. So you have here the customer and billing information. Basically, you can change different things like titles and headlines and padding sizes, etc., etc. So you can see that will change quite a bit. So this is the that information here, this box over here. that you can again customize and change the fonts, for example, like this. You have different options such as the checkout wrapper, which again you can customize the whole thing. Basically, this is the whole checkout itself, so the whole widget that combines the wrapper of these two areas is basically this one, which again you can create a different color, whatever you want to have. Let's keep it transparent for the moment. You have the order summary, which is this area. This is your order summary. Again, you can change the colors, the fonts, the shadows, the padding, so you can create more padding or less padding. It really depends on your preference, if you want to show images or not. So we can actually hide images if you don't want to show those options. The buttons, how they will look, very straightforward. The security badges, you can customize what they say and what is the color of the badges. So basically this text over here that you have, which you can actually hide. So if you don't want to show the badges, feel free to just hide them, no problem. You have the ability to strike the regular price. If you have a sale, you can enable or disable, show the order summary. I personally suggest you have this on, because this, if you go on mobile, you actually have the summary on top and then the information for purchase at the bottom, so people would actually be very aware of what exactly they're purchasing. Because if you have the summary at the bottom, they can actually do the submit without even knowing the actual total amount that they will be paying. So I think that's a good option to be enabled all the time, but again, it really depends on your flow that you want to achieve. And lastly, we have the expand the checkout to full width. Again, this depends on how you want to create it. So in this case, this is not full width, but yeah, full width, basically, again, it is from top to bottom of the screen of the person. If it is bigger, obviously, you have more real estate, so it will expand beyond the full height of the screen, but the minimum would be the full height of the screen. Lastly, we have the settings. So this is where you can link people to a custom thank you page. So when they submit this payment, by default they'll go to the system thank you page, but you can customize to go to a dedicated page that you create. So you can create a custom thank you page and link to it from here. Feel free to do that. You can allow discount codes or hide them. So if you don't want to allow that option to be visible at all, you can just hide it. Enable registrations or just disable them. You have that ability. This is a cool option if you don't want to ask for like addresses, etc., etc. If you're selling digital goods or services or memberships, you can enable that so you don't ask for that much useless information. If it's not part of part of your legal requirement or something like that, you can disable it to make your checkouts more friendly. Quicker to do a payment is always better. So if you can ask less questions in fields, that's usually better, less friction for a purchase. Lastly, here we have the option to connect to email marketing. So whoever purchases the product submits the checkout, they will be added to a list. So from here you can create your list and add them when they submit it to that list, so you can start sending them email marketing and automation campaigns. So make sure that you do that. You can also tag users when they create a new order, so you can select which tags will be applied to people purchasing. And here lastly we have the ability to customize what fields will be asking inside our checkout forms. So you have these predefined options which are standard for checkouts, but you also have the ability to add more things that you can ask people. So here you can have you can select where to actually ask those questions, and you can add a lot of fields, and actually these are all the fields from the CRM. So for example, accepting terms, you can ask about the website, what is your website, what is you can add any type of a field that you want, maybe a file, a date option, a checkout, a multiple or single option that you want to ask. And as you can see, because we selected to be added in this area, in the first area of your checkout process, so this is where the website is being added. But accept terms is always something that you add at the bottom, so that's why we force it to be added at the bottom right before you make a purchase. So you'll see the actual accept terms. That's a field that you'll see at the billing details right before the completion of the form. So this way you can add whatever, like I said, fields that you want to have here. And that basically concludes the checkout. It's very customizable. There's a lot of settings, as you can see. Basically, just to summarize, we have the products where you can select what type of a product you'll be selecting if you want to predefine, or a cart checkout. Then you have the ability for styling, which is the customization, the design of the whole checkout. And lastly, we have the settings, which allow you to select like the discount code, the email marketing, the tags, what fields you have inside your checkout form. So this is the widget. It's quite big. You can just leave it as it is. Your templates usually come with a predefined and very optimized checkout widget, but again, you have the freedom to create it however you wish. So this was the checkout, and yeah, I hope that you enjoy and how it works and how beautiful they are.